Hello, outsiders. It's Justice Pariah here, and first of all, can I just say thank you for all the support on the last one we did. You can see Jimmy and Mumbo right behind me. Oh, whoop, my head got stuck there. You guys seem to like the last one I did, so why not? Let's continue it. I wanted to build all of them anyway, so here we are. So, as of episode 5, Tango was the first out, so I think it's only fair that we build a Tango today. I've already got my blocks ready. But also, I want to try and build the Joel, the Beans family, in honor of the smallest bean. So, let's go ahead and get this going. I've decided that how the teams are going to work is good guys versus bad guys, the way Skiz divided them in past life. So Jimmy is obviously a member of the Rejects, that makes him a good guy. Whereas Mumbo over here, well, admittedly Mumbo's not in past life. Except for the 2 episodes where he was. For the record, I am referring to what Tango's skin looks like off screen for those of you watching on Twitch. By the way, I film these on Twitch. Join me sometime, twitch.com/JusticePariah. I thought for a while about who Tango would be. And I decided that the only correct answer is that, well, Tango has, like, the redstone thing going on with his eyes, so he looks like a living creation, a living redstone device. And who better to represent him than, well, the other, excuse me, than the Marvel hero creation, that is Vision. So, I'm gonna make Tango Vision. Thing I've slowly realized about Minecraft legs, and I'll probably do this to the others as well just to get this more complete. But they're actually 3 across instead of I've been giving them a width of 2 instead of 3, and 3 just works better, especially for what I'm about to do here. Okay. Now, Tango wears dark red, and I think, personally, the closest to that is going to be these nether bricks. So, we're going to try and do that, so... Okay, good. So far, this is definitely a Tango. Try this and see if this works. Yeah, that feels right. Okay. Okay. Now, we're going to take out this top part right here. Because that's actually part of Tango's, like, tie thing. And then... Actually, no. While I think the color scheme is right, this isn't how Tango would do this, no. Like, I've seen enough Tango thumbnails to know this isn't how Tango plays this game. If Tango was an Avenger, he'd have one arm up thinking he's gonna, like, summon lightning or something. Which, I get that he's Vision, not Thor. But... he would definitely still do that. And if you think he wouldn't, I don't think you know Tango very well. This is going to be hard. Okay, I think what we need to do is just move on to the actual Vision part for right now, and then come back and fix this. Why does that spider look huge? This might upset a couple of people, but I'm not actually going to go for the, I'm not going to go for MCU Vision, really. I'm going to go for more of a, for more the yellow kind of vibe, the light green yellow kind of vibe to vision. Okay, so then we're gonna take our lime green. I know the way I build this is a little weird, but trust me, it works. There's a method to my madness. And then once again with the layering, that will go into our red. Just like our Mumbo over here, his Iron Man, I don't think there's a reason to not use the red here. I think the brightness kind of helps in a way. Not what I was intending with that redstone block there, but I'll allow it because it helps. I actually like the way that looks. That has a fun little vibe to it. Okay, next up we're gonna add some green here. On the old suit, Vision had a bit of a yellow logo in the center of his chest, kind of diamond-shaped. It's kind of hard to do that with what we've got going on here. The top layer, we gotta add that dark green to make it look like it's been leading into this. This is going to help especially with the mask that I'm going to have to put on him. There's some stuff going on with the armbands. So like about right here. Yeah. Right here and right here. There's like something going on that like wraps around Vision's head. So I'll have to fix that. Just like that for now.
"20 minutes later."
I guess they'll just go straight up. I can't really figure out a better way to do this. If someone knows, let me know. But for right now, I think this will be fine. Perfect. Tango as Tango would be. And now Tango's head. Okay, so this side right here is Tango's head. While the other side is going to be the Vision head. I know technically this means it's not filled in, but, you know, it is what it is. Now, the problem now is I've used yellow for, like, this right here. Yellow concrete, so for his hair, we're going to use yellow terracotta just so there's a difference. Kind of looks less like the French fry hair and more like a cheese. But it'll work. That surprisingly looks a little bit more like Tango. This thing's gonna have to come up and around the back of his head. So I'll deal with that here in a minute, but first we've got to get our dark green and kind of make an outline of something here. Actually, no. I know what I'm doing with that. Just realized the arms are getting in my way a little bit. Like Tango's giant arms that I built going straight up. I hope you're happy, Tango. I did this as a reference to you. Alright. And now since Vision is pretty red with yellowish eyes, I'm basically going to do something similar to what I did with the Iron Man build. But not right now because it's too dark. Alright, so we're going to put this block of gold right here. And that's half of the Mind Stone right there. Sticking out of his head. The fact that he doesn't have a mouth is bothering me. Yeah, that's more like it. That's a Tango. I give you Tango vision. Alright. Now the last thing, I've got to give him a cape. Yeah, so it circles around and then becomes a cape, essentially. Yeah. Okay, so that's like half of a cape. It's not great, but yeah, I mean, you can see it from this side. I think that's all that really matters. So yeah, admittedly, I don't think this is my greatest work, but I think it's clear who it is. It's Tango. We got him flying off the ground. We got him with a cape. It comes down to just above the boots. Yeah, I think Tango works. Tango works. This is our Tango now. Now that Tango is done, let us take a little bit of a break while I get the stuff to make the Beans family. Let's start the Joel over here, actually. Alright, so this is actually more of a dark green right here for the bottom of Joel's shoe. And then we gotta get Joel's kind of trousers going on here. Because Joel is Shrek. I'm using white wool for Joel. I think the white makes sense for his character. Like the white wool, that is. This is what he uses a lot when he builds himself and Guess the Build. So I figure, why switch? Why change things? This is just the way he is. Okay, so then we got 2 layers. I'm gonna go 2 layers of white. Except for here in the middle, that's a 4. Not gonna lie, really happy with how this Joel is turning out. Because I feel like Joel's a really good builder. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, most of them are. But Joel and Jem especially are builders that I would want to impress because they're like two of the best in the entire server. Like in the whole Hermitcraft, uh, gets to build everything. I'm just now realizing Minecraft skins are 8 across, so 1, 2, 3, yeah, so that's why. Okay, so well, that's easily fixable. Just take this entire layer over here and just go down. Alright, now we replace this with gold and go up 1, 2 and replace this one with gold. So now we have Joel's trademark Shrek jacket. It actually really was the fastest way to fix it, huh? Based on how this is going. I think I'm gonna have Joel have this arm going straight down. I know this kind of doesn't make sense, just follow me. It'll make sense in a minute. That's a lot of mobs circling underneath the Tango. Okay. I've got to come up with a better light source to keep them away. I just realized Joel's eyes are actually really low. And his eyes are the same color as his hair, so we're actually going to go with brown eyes real quick. And his hair is a bit like this. Actually, no, they're a different shade of brown. My bad. So that doesn't blend in. And I'm actually going to flip something real quick, because this is kind of the opposite of how Joel has it. But above this eye right here, I'm actually going to add the dark green for the streak he's got. And then since this is where okay, yeah. I'm literally copying the skin verbatim to get this right. I'm looking at it right now. Admittedly, I don't know how the top of his hair does this, but I'm just going to do this for fun. Because this seems like what Joel would do. Okay, so, I know what you're thinking. Justice Pariah, you build almost completely Joel. Who is the character that he's supposed to be? Who is Joel supposed to be here? And the answer to that is, I've been thinking this over for a long time. Joel, I love Joel to death, but he has a very egotistical personality, usually talking down to his audience and stuff like that. And, you know, he's one of the strongest PvPers in the entire Life series, or just Hermitcraft in general, now that he's in Hermitcraft. And so I figured, who better for him to be than Thor? Like, especially since apparently he likes to kill people with a mace as well. So, we're gonna try and make the rest of this head and this right here look like Thor's suit. Let's grab some blocks and get into it. I'm actually gonna add the lime green over on this side to try and, like, do with his hair. So, like, one's one color, one's another. Actually, this particular gray kind of lends very well because it's almost a blue, which is what Thor actually looks like in the comics. Trying to do a mirrored thing here. Trying to give it that Joel specialty here. We're going to replace this with something a bit more silver looking. I hate to do this, but I think I'm going to have to go for, like, smooth stone or something like that. Something that just looks like, because, like, I can't just put down chainmail. So I have to find something that looks like it. Yeah, I think smooth stone's going to be our answer here. It's gray and it looks pretty metallic. I know this throws off from the kind of wool aesthetic that Joel was going for, but it's kind of like two sides of the same coin in a way, which is what I like about it. And what makes it even more like that is the fact that Thor's outfit in the MCU kind of follows this Joel's kind of pattern right here with the overshirt. So I can literally just copy paste it. Layer 7. And then finally, layer 8. Yes, Thor Joel is almost a go. And looking at what Thor looks like, I think realistically it would come down. Let's do that. I know Thor doesn't have brown eyes, but it would be really weird if Joel just had contacts in whenever he was Thor. So yeah, I'm gonna try and replace this entire row actually should just be birch planks. Another layer. Okay, so what I'm thinking is we add another layer on the outside so it looks like this long blonde hair is a wig that Joel throws on when he's Thor. Is it the best solution? Nah, not really, but I find it really fun. And sometimes that's all that matters, right? Is just having fun with it. Like, I'm having fun with these builds. Getting to build all of these characters like this. See, the thing about Thor's design is that it's very simplistic. It almost looks pretty much the same as what Joel's got on. And I try to make his hair look extra long to try and sell the fact that it's Thor, it's a wig, but there's really only one way to make this look like Thor, and that's to give Joel a giant hammer. Now, For me specifically, I think there's only one option. I probably should have done like some wood or something, but I think this will work for what I have in mind. For the record, it does have a little lead-like hook thing, so I'm gonna add this right here so I can just like do a quick circle wraparound thing on the end of the on the end of it here. But now it just kind of looks like a key, so maybe... Yeah, that's better, that's better. And then we build a giant iron hammer. Sort of like the mace in a way. Actually, I think we need to make it a little bit bigger. I'm thinking 4 blocks up for this, for height. 3. Alright, it's Mjolnir. Yeah. And then we just... over here, coming out like so. Yes. Okay, so a few more glass panes and this should be done. Ah, I ruined it. Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah, so now we got lightning coming off the hammer in a bunch of different directions. And I know it's blue, but Thor's always been associated with blue lightning. At least in the movie, so that's what I'm going off of here. Oh, right, Thor is a cape. Actually, I really rock with that cape. I mean, I know it's pretty just straight in the moment, but it works. Because if I just add some red carpet, like so. Let's get rid of this block here. We don't need that. Yeah, that gives Thor vibes. That's what was missing from this. Yes. We have Joel Odinson. I'm trying to give names to all of them. So far... Oh, whoops. Hang on. Now we're going to build Lizzie. And I've had some time to think about it. And instead of going for Mighty Thor, like female Thor, just to be besides Joel here, we're going to make Lizzie her own unique character. And I decided we're going to do Doctor Strange. Which is going to be very hard to do. I know this looks a little weird of how I'm starting out this build. In fact, I'm actually starting with the Doctor Strange side on this. That's actually kind of better. So we'll make it look like she's sitting down right here. I was originally going to do legs crossed, but that might be a little too hard. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not that great of a builder. Okay. Then it's 8 blocks up. Only these two on the side are actually fully pink for her hair. I'll try to make something work out of that, but it's not gonna be easy. Alright, so at this point, I know what you're thinking. Justice Pariah, you built Lizzie way too close to Joel. How are you gonna add her arms or anything like that? And I'm glad you asked, because I'm gonna make that happen, and you're gonna see how in just a second. But first, we kind of have to do some work here on this half of the build, the Doctor Strange. I realize wool kind of really helps sell the old school, like, spandex look that a lot of old superhero costumes had. Which is why I'm happy I'm using it. Here should actually be yellow as well. Actually, no. Maybe just the top one. And it leads into the red that goes into the cape. I'll put red carpet on top of that. I think that'll look a little bit better. Now, unlike everyone else, I know I said, like, maybe Joel throws on a wig. I don't want to make Lizzie look like her head is shaved on one side or is getting old. Like, well, maybe I could do, like, some gray on one side to, like, make it, like, kind of a wizard thing. If I do something like this... this bottom layer here with her arm. To make it look like she's holding something very important. Now that's Lizzie's armband because in her arms, rocked perfectly sound by everything going on. I'm only gonna build her 1 block wide, but... Actually, nah, maybe more like... Yes. And then instead, let's do something to reference Joel here. I don't need that black anymore, so I'm going to use this. That kind of looks like a flower, but the point of it is that maybe if I do this... No, that looks a little weird. Alright, let's take these off the side. I think that'll help. There we go. So in Lizzie's arms is their daughter. Which I just realized Joel's got I made this lightning maybe come a little too close. Look. Joel is a dad and is doing anything to protect his wife and daughter, okay? That's why he's got the giant hammer. Now don't worry, Lizzie isn't just gonna stand here letting her husband do all the work. 7, 8. I'm just now realizing she kind of looks like Captain Marvel instead of Doctor Strange. Hopefully the finer details will help with that. 1, 2, 3. And then 4th layer. And then when I come back to you all, we'll actually have a filled in, like, head of hair. Alright, and now I'm just gonna add an extra thick layer to the front here. Just make it look a bit better right here. Wait a minute, hang on a sec. Yeah, and then it just kind of comes down a couple layers. But I'm gonna use this block of resin. And this. Is that kind of like a interior conduit? Then I'm gonna do just like the Jimmy build. I'm gonna go around it in like yellow. And hopefully this will kind of make the Doctor Strange. Actually, I just realized that that resin is not doing anything here. I'm not gonna bother with corners because I don't think Doctor Strange needs corners. Yeah, that seems about right. So we've got Lizzie doing Doctor Strange stuff to keep bad guys away. I know the shield looks a little small. Maybe I should also give like make it look like Lizzie's floating on one. Well, nah, that's what the cloak of levitation is for. Speaking of which, it's time we add it. Okay, so the cape goes like that. So now Lizzie and Joel have matching capes, which I really love. Like Lizzie's holding it too, which is kind of funny. But no, Lizzie is holding their baby in her arms while working with Joel to fend off any threat. Joel and Lizzie come as a pair. You don't get one without the other. There was no way I was making these two be on opposite teams. So, I'll leave you all with this. I hope you enjoyed seeing Tango Vision, who I do have some ideas for with this glass for next time. I want to make sure I build someone fighting him before I just add detail like that. So, we've got Tango Vision, Joel Odinson, and Strange Shadow Lady. Alright, that'll be it for now. Maybe just Strange Lady. Not even Shadow, just Strange Lady. Well, we love Lizzie, but I think that's funny. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Have a God bless day, everyone.